Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I am here. I have a break and I looked at my schedule. And yesterday I went to the doctor's, guys, and got a shot in the buttocks. And I'm feeling a little, and I have a little energy, but I did not want to get pneumonia, or I just wanted to make sure I didn't have C19 or anything else. But hello, hello, hello. Now, I'm coming in at this time because at 1 o'clock Central, Tony Buzzbee is doing a press conference and he is going to give the details. Now it has grown to 100 plus victims for P. Diddy. There is another lawsuit that is getting ready to come out that it's not going to be handled by Tony Buzzbee. This is one about P. Diddy and an A-list celebrity who they're saying that you can see she was drugged, did not know that she was being recorded, and I do believe this one, and it's being shopped around. They're not dropping a name, but an attorney came out and spoke out about it, said she was contacted by this person. And, oh, this is bad. So the lawyer's name is Ariel Mitchell Kidd. And she spoke on it. They're not giving out the name right now, but they have seen the video. So good morning, Health Wealth. Let's see. Let's go here. Christoph, Health Wealth. Good morning. Gypsy, get out the damn weeds. Michelle, Snuggle Bunny, Gamecock Jenny. Hi, sweetie. Long time. Flower Power, Mickey, Griggs. Hello. Crafting with Amanda, M. Witt, Party Rock, Sherry, Sweet Potato. Mustang Sally, Just Danny. Hi, baby. Girl, I heard your ode to Dear Yvette. I was just listening to that. Whoo! Deborah Bass, hello. Party Rock. I think I said Party Rock. Let's see. So when hi, Mr. Jimenez, when the press conference starts, we're going to jump right into it. Mickey Wisco Gal, hi, sweetie. I just ordered some groceries. I was going to go out yesterday after the doctor's office, and I was going to go in the office for a little bit, and I was advised to stay home and let the medicine get in my system. So I do feel a lot better than what I did. Hi, Sweeps and Beyond. Hello, hello, hello. How do y'all like my thing I did? You see I did that myself. Look at this. I did it myself. I'm so proud of myself. But before we get into P. Diddy, which the press conference is slated for 1 o'clock Central, I have it up. I'm waiting for it to start. Tony Buzzbee, the Houston attorney, will be talking. And right now, there's how many people in the chat waiting? October 1st. Let me refresh this. Still 13. They're still waiting. So they haven't started that yet. But before we get there, I wanted to show you guys something that I really wanted to show you yesterday. And it's really troubling to see what happened, that this little boy did not get the help that he needed. And again, we're talking about stranger danger when there's danger inside of our own homes. So let me show you this. And again, anybody in the bushes that would care to join the live, you are more than welcome to. Just let you know that we just had our lights back. Oh, I'm gonna give you an update. Okay, really quick. I need to give you an update on Sarah Z. Sarah Z has she and her mom are great. I break the silence. She and her mom are great. She has been really, really blessed. She has got in contact with FEMA. She has an appointment with them. She actually spoke to Empress. She helped Empress with the resources that she used. So she is there for Empress as well. But Sarah Z has been blessed across the board. She doesn't want anybody to worry. She is good, and she is definitely spreading the word. So just wanted to give you guys that update. I spoke to her today. So just wanted to give you guys that update. But I'm going to put up a trigger warning here really quick. This is triggering when you see this, and you're going to understand why. This little boy was just, he slipped through the system. Here we go.
2 black eyes.
Miss Heidi question, was it a male doctor or a female doctor that it was a male doctor. Oh, and by the way, I checked with somebody earlier. From my understanding, no one has heard from Siwa at all. If that's changed, I don't know, but that was earlier. So yes, there is also a website on Facebook, which I'm going to share with you guys. It's the missing people in East Tennessee. You're going to see all these people are looking for their loved ones. So I will share that website with you guys shortly. Let me just show you this.
And protruding bones. That is how a 4-year-old boy looked in a police body cam footage.
Oh, hold on. Let me start it over.
2 black eyes and protruding bones. That is how a 4-year-old boy looked in a police body cam footage.
They're going to show you the video.
About 4 weeks before he died.
Benjamin Cervera is believed to have starved to death at the hands of his father and stepmother. That father, Brandon Cervera, is now on trial and charged with injury to a child.
Erica Hernandez takes us inside the courtroom today, breaking down that body camera footage and why police did not remove the child from the home at that time. We do want to warn you, some of the images you're about to see are difficult to look at.
I wish I could have done more.
San Antonio police officer Omar Perez spending most of the day testifying in the trial of Brandon Cervera. Cervera accused of starving his son Benjamin to death back in 2021. Officer Perez told a jury they got a call asking for a welfare check on the 4-year-old. When he got there, he said while the home was clean, he noticed that Benjamin looked different than the other children.
He had visible injuries, a lot of bruising on his eye.
Look at this child. Oh. Hold on. So his 8-year-old brother actually, hi, Donna Lee. Hi, long time no see. So this is this little boy. Look at his eyes.
On his eyes, bruising on his torso. He was skinny, but being able to see like his bones.
When Cervera and his ex-wife Miranda Cáceres were asked about the injuries, they said Benjamin was the one causing them, and they had scheduled doctor's appointments to get them checked.
He pokes his eye and he pokes his ear.
He gets up at night and he goes into the kitchen.
He had a napkin in his
Throughout
ear.
questioning, Benjamin can be seen several times asking his father for food and told to wait. During cross-examination, body camera footage from another officer was shown, and in it, you can hear the officer speaking with Benjamin about his injuries.
This little boy was asking for food because he saw police officers there, and he thought that by asking in front of the police officers, he would be able to get something to eat. This is, in my opinion, and that's the conclusion I came with. But look at this child. Look at him with the napkin. Why do you think there's a napkin in his ear? Do you think he hit him in his ear and it was leaking? Exactly, Mickey. But listen to what they said. I'm going to let you hear what they have to say.
See your eyes? How did he get like that? What happened?
Benjamin further tells officers that he hit his head on the floor. Officer Perez says regarding the visit, he was only told to call CPS and fill out an information report, which would lead to further investigation on a later date. Overall, Officer Perez says more could have been done. Now, EMS did check Benjamin's vitals that day, and they did come back normal. As to if CPS ever did investigate this case, well, that has not been said in court as of now. Now, this trial is expected to last for about 2 weeks. It will resume tomorrow morning around 10 a.m. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
I was watching this, and it made me sick to my stomach. I was watching the trial. When the 8-year-old little boy, hi, Golden Girls. Hi, sweetie. This is sad. I'm watching the timer, 10:53. So I'm watching to see when Tony Buzzbee takes, thank you. That little boy's eyes are not black. He said he hit him. He said he hit his head on the floor. I know when my grandson ran into my coffee table, I had those cast iron legs, and he busted his forehead. He had 2 black eyes. Ask me how quick did that coffee table disappear out of my house? Yeah, it had to go. But he was running around and he fell, he just hit it at the right point, and he had 2 black eyes. That little boy was abused, and now he is deceased. Now, this piece of shit right here, he attacked a mother and her children. Let's just hear this.
Now at 6 tonight, new details on the husband accused of beating his wife and stepsons using a baseball bat. Thank you for joining us tonight here at the News at 6. I'm Mark Sinny.
And hi, everyone. I'm Erin Connolly. A judge just set the bond for Abdul Rahim Suleiman at $10 million. This attack happened in Bridgeport yesterday. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Dylan Fearon is live outside the courthouse with some new details. Dylan.
Mark, Aaron, the mother and sons, just 6 and 4 years old, are all in the hospital right now. Suleiman has been charged with attempted murder and assault. And earlier today, before his court appearance, there was another violent incident.
Yes, I understand.
In handcuffs and a blue prison jumpsuit, Abdul Rahim Suleiman tries speaking to the judge.
No, Your Honor, I would like to address the court.
It's difficult to understand him with his long hair covering his face, his attorney talking him out of it. But Suleiman's allegedly said and done enough, accused of beating his wife and 2 stepsons with a baseball bat.
The strength of the state's case is extremely strong, the facts of which are gruesome to say the least.
The attack happened on Bridgeport's Main Street Wednesday morning. The mother called police saying, "Please help us. He's hitting us with a bat. My kids, my son, please help us." Luckily, an officer was nearby. Witnesses quickly pointed to Suleiman walking in the area. He was arrested, charged with attempted murder and assault. Police are listing the 6-year-old boy in critical condition, while the 4-year-old and their mother are stable. But prosecutors today with a heartbreaking update on the older son.
The likelihood of survival of this individual is close to 0. The defendant has a past history of violence, not just in this state, but in the state of New Jersey, where he did 7 years for aggravated assault.
The mother told police Suleiman had accused her of having sex with other men. Before his arraignment today.
So you accused the mother of having sex with other men, and you attack a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old with a baseball bat. The 6-year-old is in critical condition. I checked about 3 hours ago, and there was no updates on his condition yet.
Suleiman allegedly had another violent incident in his holding cell.
According to the marshals, this individual, while down in lockup, slapped one of the marshals in the face and then spit on one of the other marshals.
Maria Green is walking home from church.
That's what we were actually praying about today. I actually was praying for our children and this generation, because it's crazy out here.
The mother had also told police yesterday that Suleiman had been smoking PCP recently, Mark and Aaron, we also know there's a very good chance Suleiman is back in court tomorrow on the slapping and spitting incident. Live in Bridgeport tonight, I'm Dylan Fearon, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All just horrifying, Dylan.
Yes, I saw that, Mr. Jimenez. I saw that. It was a retaliatory missile is what they're saying. I saw that about 30 minutes ago.
Thank you. If you or someone you know might be with a violent partner, please know help is always available.
So
you can call or text the Connecticut Safe Connect.
Let's go to the let me go to the news conference that's getting ready to happen. I don't want to miss any of this. We have a minute and 58, minute 56. So this is Tony Buzzbee. I have this waiting. I'm waiting, and I knew Fox was going to carry it. The part is down now too. The port is down. Yes. This is sad. Yes, I know. But okay, let's talk about Sean Diddy too. So I was telling you guys about all of these charges that he has and everything that's come for him. So, you know, when they put him on suicide watch, it's routine when you have someone, well, most people, but they put him on suicide watch. It's routine. So he's now accepting, hi Dustin, long time. He's now accepting, well, now he's able to visit with his family. They're not saying which family member went to visit. If it was a guest, I'm going to say Christian went to visit. Okay. But he's still being monitored, but not as intense as he was. He is he's eager, his attorney says, to take the stand and testify. What are you going to testify to? That you blackmail people? You know, that you coerce people into doing things by forcing them, using their own videos. What is it that you're going to testify to? Now, there were reports out that I saw on TikTok. They were playing a video, which we all knew that Usher had stayed with P. Diddy so he can teach him the music business. His mom let him go live with P. Diddy for a year. We also, I don't know if you remember, but I said that, and it was a video way back when Usher, when asked if he would allow his sons to go stay with P. Diddy, he said, hell no. But now it's coming out that Usher actually groomed Justin Bieber to be P. Diddy's next flavor. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? So that's what they're saying, that Justin Bieber was groomed by Usher to be P. Diddy's next flavor. Do we believe that to be true? I kind of do. I can only imagine. But you were actually out shopping. And then the fact that there are videos that are being released of him pleasuring himself, speaking of P. Diddy, to watching a male sex worker having sex with someone that attended the party. Yes, his next flavor. Yeah, Usher was in the filth. Yes. Yes, he was in the filth. I want to know, where's Tony Buzzbee? We're late. Hold on. Let me see if there's another news station that has it up and going. Hold on. Let me see. Tony Buzzbee. He's supposed to be on Fox. Okay, it hasn't started yet. He hasn't started yet. He hasn't started yet. They said 1 o'clock. I don't know what's taking so long. But let me see. Waiting for Fox 26. The room is filling up. I don't know what's taking Tony so long. They're waiting. Sorry, but Usher looks like, yes, he gets, hi, Simply Sophie. Yes, he gets freaky. It's like concentric circles of hell from Dante. But Tony Buzzbee is saying that most of the people that he's representing were minors at the time. They were minors at the time. How do you get a chance? Okay, they were minors at the time when these kids were assaulted. I'm looking. I'm seeing if it's on another channel too, because they haven't started yet. And I'm looking. Every time I turn around, money's being taken out my goddamn account. I mean, it's money I spent. Don't get me wrong. It's money I spent, but I don't want to see it. Crazy Cat Mama told me that I should have everything that comes out of my account. I should get notifications of it. And I'm tired of seeing it now. I had it set if it was over a certain amount, but I'm tired of seeing it. Every little purchase I make is popping up on my damn phone. It's clogging all of my notifications. Hold on. I'm looking for another channel to see if there's if the press conference has started and Fox News is just late. Press conference, Tony Buzzbee. Okay, it's live. Oh no, okay, they're doing the same thing. Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. What channel is that? Hold on. It started someplace else. Hold on. I have it. It's on Pascal's show, but hold on.
A few of them have already been spoken to by the FBI. Now, before we discuss the nature of the claims and claimants themselves, let me comment on the large volume of calls we have received since our first announcement. Even before the indictment of Sean Combs, we had received a small volume of calls and had screened a handful of cases. After the indictment of Sean Combs and the announcement that we were pursuing these claims, the floodgates opened. People who wouldn't otherwise, for a variety of reasons, are now stepping forward to make their voices heard and to pursue justice. But no, most of these people are scared. They fear backlash in their communities. They fear backlash in their own families. They are afraid of retaliation from the perpetrators and their associates. They are rightly afraid for their own personal safety. I expect that through this process, many powerful people will be exposed. Many dirty secrets will be revealed. We know what we are potentially up against. And as is always the case in situations like this, when a celebrity is involved, people can be downright mean and nasty. You would be shocked at the length fans will go, no matter the evidence to the contrary, to defend celebrities.
I'm trying to find it on another news station, but I don't want to miss it. Hold on.
I've personally already been threatened multiple times on social media. When I agreed to pursue this, I expected as much. This isn't my first rodeo. But victims who step forward to have their voices heard should not be subjected to that kind of conduct. They should not be targeted. I want to say this, and I want to be clear about it. Although we are vetting each call as stringently as we can, I always start with a mindset that I believe victims. I believe victims because I understand the tremendous courage it takes to step forward. So if you're watching this, please hear me. If you're out there and you have been victimized, you are not alone. There is a great strength in numbers. You can seek.
Hold on, I found it. I found it. I found it. I found it. I don't want to use anybody else's shit. There we go. Let me take this down.
Text. We check venues. We check dates. We want to corroborate that the claims being made have legitimacy and merit. We have on staff now a former detective from the Major Offenders Unit of Houston Police Department who is helping us vet each claim. We're using our common sense. We're being stringent because, as I said, these are not easy cases. They're very tough. The process is hard, and in some cases, the process is very lengthy. These cases are hard to prove. Many times it's the victim's word against the alleged perpetrator. Each of these victims will no doubt be publicly attacked by the alleged perpetrators, and in some cases, the general public.
Yep.
The feckless and cowardly keyboard warriors love to attack. We know what we're up against. We did not enter this fray blindly. I wish it was my last such fray. I wish this type of behavior wasn't so pervasive, but it is what it is, so we will press on. As I said, our law firms have been retained by 120 individuals at this point to pursue cases in civil court against Sean Diddy Combs. You should know, in this group, it is evenly divided between males and females. There are 60 males and 60 females who have joined us to pursue these claims as plaintiffs. In this group, 62% identify as African American, 30% are white, and the remainder are Hispanic or Asian. The victims are from more than 25 states. The majority are from California, New York, Georgia, and Florida. I don't want to focus on the ages of these victims. When we talk about the ages of the victims when the conduct occurred, it's shocking. Our youngest victim at the time of the occurrence was 9 years old.
Damn!
We have an individual who was 14 years old. We have one who was 15. 25 of the 120 individuals who are plaintiffs in these cases were minors at the time of the acts complained of. The time frame of the acts complained of is very wide. The conduct at issue spans from the years 1991 all the way till this year, 2024.
Damn.
If you wonder why there are so many alleged victims, that's your answer. We're talking about more than 25 years.
9 years old, Sophie, yes.
Now, although most of the victims who have stepped forward were victimized after 2015, this has been going on for a very long time. Now, when you think about the fact that some of this conduct occurred 25 years ago, and you wonder why would it take somebody so long to step forward, I want to remind you that many states in the United States have recognized that it's very difficult for a victim to step forward and to make these types of allegations when something very terrible has happened to them. I'll use New York, the state of New York, as an example. The state of New York has specific statutes in place that revive claims that are even claims that would typically be not able to be brought, that it revives such claims and they can be brought even 25 to 30 years later. Because there's a recognition there in New York and California and other states that it's very difficult for a victim to come forward. And I would respectfully suggest the only reason many of these people are coming forward because they see other victims coming forward. And it gives them some comfort that, hey, I won't be the only one.
He's done.
And I expect more victims will come forward. You know, there's an old saying, it says, a lie has great speed, but truth has endurance.
Yep. Truth has endurance.
The acts complained of in these cases that we're going to file occurred primarily in New York, either Manhattan or the Hamptons, or occurred in California, primarily in Los Angeles, or in Florida, primarily in Miami. Most of these events and incidents occurred at parties, typically after parties, or album release parties, New Year's Eve parties, 4th of July parties, something they called a puppy party, a white party, although several of these events occurred at auditions. Many times, especially young people wanting to break into the industry were coerced into this type of conduct in the promise of being made a star or in the promise of having Sean Combs listen to their tape or even let them read for Sean Combs. You should know that some of this behavior occurred at well-known venues in New York City. Some of this behavior occurred at private residences of people that we all know. Some of this behavior occurred at hotels that we're all familiar with. You should know that more than 55% of the victims filed reported this conduct to either the authorities, that is the police, or to hospitals. We're in the process of collecting with our team.
I told you
assistance,
they filed.
Medical
Some
records,
of them did. Nothing was done.
Reports that were made to the authorities. And I've already said that some of the individuals in this group did in fact talk to the FBI. You should know that several of the individuals, and when I say several, I mean many, who did in fact seek medical treatment were drug tested, and drugs were found in their system, weird drugs, drugs that you probably never heard of. One in particular that continues to pop up is a drug called xylazine or trank, which
the zombie drug,
our research is known as a horse tranquilizer. Now, there's been a lot of reports that we're filing a class action. This is not a class action.
No morals.
Class actions when one or two people file a case on behalf of a group of people. That's not this.
Nope.
These cases will be individual cases.
No class
Each case
action.
will live and die on its own merit. These cases will be filed individually, one plaintiff against whoever the defendants were involved in the case. Each case may be filed in one venue like California. Another case may be filed in New York. One case may sue just Sean Combs, but multiple other people. One case may sue a range of people. I would expect most, though, to be filed, as I said, thinking or hoping, or perhaps believing that I may start naming names. Well, that day will come, but it won't be today. The day will come when we will name names other than Sean Combs, and there's a lot of names. It's a long list already. And of course, I already know who some of these individuals are, but because of the nature of this case, we're going to make damn sure that we're right before we do that. But the names that we're going to name, assuming that our investigators confirm and corroborate what we've been told, are names that will shock you. These are individual cases. There are indeed other perpetrators involved. They will be revealed when that particular individual case is ready to be filed. They already know who they are.
Yep, they know.
I'm talking here about not just the cowardly, but complicit bystanders. That is, those people that we know watched this behavior occur and did nothing. I'm talking about the people that participated, encouraged it, egged it on. They know who they are. I call them the facilitators of foul play.
Thank you.
Willing participants in vile conduct. As we identify them, each will be part of this case as defendants. These defendants will not only include individuals, but would also include corporate entities.
Told you.
Ultimately profited off of this culture and behavior. I'm looking at banks, pharmaceutical companies, hotels. We know that many of these individuals were paid cash. We know that many of these individuals involved, whether they were the ones being assaulted and abused, or they're witnessing other people being assaulted and abused and then paid and threatened and told to leave. Typically paid 10 grand in cash and told to leave. And then threatened as they were leaving. So in addition to Sean
John
Combs,
Amos passed.
No, the defendants in these cases we're going to file will include anyone, of course, who engaged in the assault or exploitation, anyone who participated in such in any way, anyone who encouraged or facilitated this conduct, anyone who was in the room and watched it happen, but made no effort to stop it,
Roger Bond,
any venue or venue owner who was aware of what was going on,
J-Lo,
failed to stop it, any individual or entity who knew about the conduct and benefited from it, but did nothing to report it or stop it, and any individual or entity who covered it up or helped cover it up. These people who know who they are should just come forward now. I would imagine, as we speak here, there are a myriad of people who are very nervous. You can't hide skeletons in the closet forever.
Nope.
I would expect there are many people out there right now who are desperately searching their memories as they delete their texts and data.
Mm-hmm.
Now, although these are In fact, individual cases, there is a common theme, an MO, if you will. Typically, the victim is lured into a situation where he or she is given a drink. Typically, that drink, reported by these victims, is apparently laced with something. Once that drink takes effect, the perpetrators perform all kinds of sexual acts on the victims, many times passing him or her around as other people watch and enjoy the show, and then leave the victim ashamed, confused, injured, and wondering what happened.
Everywhere,
when the victim reaches out, he or she is told not to say anything. Sometimes there are threats of physical violence or financial repercussions or bodily harm. The claims we intend to bring will include the following: violent sexual assault or rape, sexual abuse, facilitated sex with a controlled substance, false imprisonment, compelling prostitution, sexual misconduct, dissemination of video recordings,
dissemination, passing them around,
sexual abuse of minors. Given the large volume of cases and given our other docket obligations, and given the fact that we want to be sure when we file these cases that they are fully vetted, I expect we'll start filing these cases against Sean Combs and other perpetrators within the next 30 days. Now, it's rare, sexual abuse, sexual exploitation, this type of activity is pervasive in our society, and it's rare we get a chance where we can really focus on this as a country and really focus on this about how pervasive this is and what we as collectively can do about it. So I thought I'd take this opportunity before I go into some of the individual cases and talk about some of the individual claims being made and so you'll get a sense of what this 120 people group looks like individually. I want to bring forward Carrie Paul. She's a national victim advocate who helps victims who have been victimized by this type of conduct. And she has some important words, and I hope you'll pay close attention. I think it's important that you hear from her.
Hello, I'm Carrie Paul with the National Victim Advocate. It's not easy for any survivor to come forward. Our culture doesn't believe survivors. It blames and questions them. Instead of showing support, many choose to enable abusers. The media runs stories asking why it took so long for survivors to come forward instead of asking what barriers exist. We also don't equip law enforcement with the ability to handle sexual assault crimes. Lack of funding translates to lack of training. We have officers in the field that don't know what to say to a rape victim, and also an alarming amount of backlogged, untested rape kits. Prosecutors are focused on what they can prove in a case, and if so, how to do that at time of trial. Advocates and staff are stretched thin with growing caseloads in the criminal justice system. Most people don't know how the criminal justice works in general. There isn't enough staff or resources to adequately explain the entire process to every victim and survivor. Our culture works against victims and survivors every day, and abusers know this. Abusers work themselves into positions of power, building a public image that is trusted and financially large enough to make people look away. Abusers are unfortunately very skilled at power and control, the foundation of abuse. They seek victims who are vulnerable, such as children, their employees, and their intimate partners, all who see a different version than the public does, all who rely on the abuser in some way. And for those that do come forward and aren't believed, face questions like, are you sure it happened that way? Were you drinking? What were you wearing? All of this creates an environment that enables abusers to continue abusing them and future victims. To the survivors that have come forward despite not being believed at some point in time, your courage is like nothing we have seen before. We thank you for coming forward for yourself and all survivors. And lastly, I want all survivors that are watching this to know we believe you and we support you. Thank you.
I want you now to hear from my co-counsel, Andrew Van Arsdale. You know, we've created a sexual abuse hotline, and I want him to visit with us just a few moments about how that works and the kind of volume of calls we've received.
Thank you, Tony. Like Tony said, my name is Andrew Van Arsdale. I'm the managing partner of ABA Law Group. We have offices in California, Montana, and North Carolina. To build off of what you just so well said, it's very hard to come forward. And given what we've experienced the past 10 days is really unprecedented in my career, at least. We represent thousands of survivors of abuse. And never, ever in a 10-day period have we seen over 3,000 people come forward, or we've confirmed and decided to investigate and represent 120 people, while we're continuing to work through another 100+ cases to prove them up, to validate what had happened here, and to hold those that are responsible accountable. And so, like Tony said, we've set this up. 1-800-200-7474. I have a team of people standing by, literally. If you know that this happened to someone and you have information about it, please contact us. If this happened to you, come forward. There's attorney-client privilege here. What you tell us is in confidence. Yes, we'll have to go out and build your case, but we will protect you. And the other thing that I want to say is, the pattern and practice of this, again, is unprecedented. Over 30+ years of the same sort of events happening, people thrust into the circle reportedly, and horrible things happening to them as a result. And from talking to these people that have come forward these past 10 days, I can tell you unequivocally that because the federal government did what it needed to do and indicted this man, that they put him in jail and a judge kept him in jail, they tell me directly, this validates my feelings. For so long, I thought it was my fault. What is it about me that put myself in that scenario? What was I wearing at the time? What did I do?
Shouldn't matter.
To be subjected to such horrific treatment at these people that I was trying to trust. Well, we know now it was not your fault. You were victimized by a group of powerful people that operated for 30+ years, taking advantage of their wealth and the power that they held within the music industry. So again, thank you to every single person that has come forward and contacted our office over the past 10 days. If you or someone you know suffered the same sort of treatment, please contact us at the number behind me, and we will help you. Thank you.
Hi, Shyla.
I think it speaks to how important this issue is in the United States and frankly, internationally, that we have reputable people here that want to provide kind of information that I think victims need to hear, witnesses need to hear, the public needs to hear. Let me introduce to you now Olivia Rivers from the Texas Association Against Sexual Assault, and let her visit with you a few moments about these types of cases.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Q Olivia Rivers. I am just served my 6th year as.
Hold on. I just want to pause this for a minute. So not only is Christian has a lawsuit for SA, let's not forget in Lil Rod's lawsuit against him, he names Justin as well. Okay. So his sons, Christian and Justin, are also involved in all of this shit.
As the board chair for the Texas Association Against Sexual Assault. I'm also the CEO for the Bridge Over Troubled Waters, which is a local rape crisis center here in the Houston area. So thank you for being here as we address these heinous crimes. Sexual assault is not just a crime of violence against the body. It's an assault on the very essence of human dignity and safety. Yep. It shatters lives, it destroys confidence, and all too often, it leaves survivors feeling like they are voiceless, isolated, and vulnerable. The reality for many survivors is that coming forward to report their assault is one of the most difficult and daunting tasks that they will ever have to do. And for some, it may take days, months, or even years to speak up if they ever do. The reasons for this have been mentioned, but include the fear of being disbelieved, being blamed or judged, and of course, retaliation. The trauma of the assault itself being compounded by the trauma of the criminal justice process, where survivors must relive their experience in order to seek justice. And these feelings and fears are further exacerbated when the allegations are against prominent figures in the entertainment industry or Hollywood. Cases involving powerful figures often attract significant media attention, which can deter victims from coming forward due to fear of public exposure or scrutiny. The intense focus on these high-profile cases can make survivors feel that their personal lives are being put under a microscope, causing further emotional distress. These allegations mentioned here today, as reported, reflect deeply troubling claims that deserve thorough investigation, and no individual, regardless of their stature, is above the law or public accountability. Sadly, the statistics paint a very disturbing picture. According to the National Sexual Violence Resource Center, 1 in 3 women and 1 in 6 men will experience some form of sexual violence in their lifetime. In the US alone, there are approximately 463,000 victims of rape or sexual assault every year, and these numbers barely scratch the surface, as sexual violence remains one of the most underreported crimes. But the numbers that follow tell an even more troubling story. Only about 23% of sexual assaults are reported to law enforcement. Of those, just 5% lead to an arrest, and even fewer, less than 1% of reported cases, ever result in a conviction, which is a devastating gap between the crime and the justice that survivors deserve.
On a watch list.
I want to briefly focus on our state here in Texas. According to the Texas Association Against Sexual Assault, 6.3 million Texans, men and women, will experience some form of violence. That's every 2 minutes someone is sexually assaulted, meaning during the course of this press conference, around 60 individuals will forever be changed by this violence. And those are just a few of the victims. Obviously, this is unacceptable. We cannot allow this cycle of silence and inaction to continue. We have to create an environment where survivors feel empowered to come forward, where they are met with empathy and respect and support, not skepticism and blame. We have to ensure that our legal system is equipped to handle these cases with the seriousness they deserve, and that survivors have access to the resources that they need beyond the legal courtroom. We have to address the root causes of this epidemic: prevention, awareness, and fostering environments where respect, consent, and safety are non-negotiable values. Additionally, support for survivors has to be holistic. They have to have access to counseling, medical services, legal advocacy, and of course, community support, regardless of whether they choose to report or not. To every survivor who has come forward, your bravery is an inspiration. To those who are still grappling with their decision, know that you are not alone and that your voice matters. Your story matters. We see you, we believe you, and we are committed to fighting for a future where sexual violence is no longer tolerated and where justice is not the exception, but the standard. Thank you.
I want to visit with you real quickly before we close here about some specific instances without disclosing the victim's name. You probably know that depending on the age of the victim, you can file these cases, these individual cases, under Jane Doe or John Doe. Each state is different in that respect. Typically, there is a balancing test, like the public's right to know the name of the victim and plaintiff versus the confidentiality and the safety of the plaintiff. So we'll have to struggle with that with each one of these cases. Our intention, of course, is to, like we always do, file these cases under a pseudonym until the court tells us otherwise. But
his attorneys are going to release their names.
If you just kind of give you a sense of the kind of cases and the kind of instances that people are calling and reporting that we are trying to corroborate, vet, and these are the ones that we've already corroborated, vetted, and collected evidence on. One individual who was 22 years at the time she was assaulted said that the typical MO at one of these parties that have been widely discussed in the press was that when you were handed a drink, and now we know that the drink is laced with something, if you refused to drink it, you were kicked out of the party. Now, let that sink in for a minute. I mean, the admission to this party was that you had to drink the chosen drink that was handed to you. And now we know that in most cases, I would say 90% of the cases, these individuals were drugged with some sort of drug. That was kind of the MO. Another instance, this individual who was 9 years old at the time was taken to an audition in New York City with Bad Boy Records. Other boys were there to audition as well. All of them were trying to land a record deal. All of them were minors. This individual was sexually abused, allegedly by Sean Combs and several other people at the studio in the promise to both his parents and to him himself of getting a record deal. Another instance, another minor told allegedly by Sean Combs that he would make him a star, but he needed to visit with him in private about it, away from his parents. Once they were in a private area, allegedly Mr. Combs made the victim perform oral sex upon him. Another incident, an individual 15 years old at the time, flown to New York City to attend a party, was drugged, and then taken into a private room, allegedly in the presence of Mr. Combs, where this female individual, minor, was raped, and then other individuals took turns.
Could that be Justin Bieber, 15, when that
Another
happened?
individual,
Watching?
26 at the time of the occurrence, was
Yes,
picked up
Laney Lane.
allegedly by Mr. Combs and several other people in a black SUV from the airport, was given one drink in the SUV, and then literally woke up the next day not knowing what had happened, but with pain and damage to both her vagina and her anus, where she then went to the hospital. She was missing her underwear and her shoes.
Damn.
Another instance, an individual, this time not a minor, was attended a group dinner, allegedly with Sean Combs in Miami. She wasn't drinking because she was pregnant, but whatever she drank at the table, apparently, at least according to her, was laced with something. She blacked out, and she woke up in the same bed, again, allegedly, with Mr. Combs in his mansion in Miami. Her vagina and her anus were torn and sore. And I could go on. I mean, literally, you're sensing a theme here. It's the same theme, and it all involves some sort of drug. One instance, an individual who was 20 years old at the time was asked to attend, just saw her on the street, asked to attend a party in a hotel. She was flattered, went to the party, was given one drink and doesn't remember anything else. Ultimately, was so messed up, went to the hospital where they found cocaine and this horse tranquilizer in her blood system. I want to give you a quote from a very young man who told us over the phone about his experience and all the things that happened to him. He says allegedly at the hands of Sean Diddy Combs and his friends in the effort to try to sign a record deal. This was kind of what he was told he would have to do. His quote is, "Had he not been in power, I feel like I could have been something great. I quit the industry because of what Sean Combs did to me." And that's really what it comes down to.
We discussed that young man before.
Pursuing this, asking you to support this effort, to encourage witnesses and victims to come forward and bring your evidence so we can continue to break down this wall of silence and we can continue to have these stories heard. This is the beginning of what I hope to be a national dialogue.
Okay, Cranky.
This type of sexual assault, sexual abuse, and sexual exploitation should never happen in the United States or anywhere else. This should have never been allowed to go on for so long. This conduct has created a mass of individuals who are injured, scared, and scarred. If you are one of those individuals, we ask you to reach out. If not to us, to someone you trust. If you are someone who witnessed any of these events, we ask you to reach out. Your name can remain confidential. With that, I'll take a few questions, not many, maybe two, but if you have a question, I'll be pleased to try to answer it.
Oh my goodness.
Perfect.
How many minors are making accusations?
You can't hear.
I don't know what the feds are aware of, okay, but I do know it's 25 out of this 120.
So they're aware of 25 out of the 120. The feds are.
The FBI or any authority who wants to come to us, and we're going to make that available to these victims because I think that's important. My suspicion is, based on talking with these folks, is that the FBI is just not aware of these people. The FBI has talked to some of these folks, and I'm going to try to encourage the victims to, in fact, talk to the FBI because I think they have some very important things to say.
Tony, were all of the children auditioning because they were musicians, or were any of them kids of employees or anything like that?
All seeking either
a record deal
or some sort of music career with promises of, we're going to make you a star. Instead, basically did things to them such that they don't want to have anything to do with the entertainment industry ever again. All right, guys. Thank you very much for your attention.
Oh my goodness. Okay. That is the press conference that I was waiting for. I really wanted more details, but shit, that's enough for me. That's enough for me. That is definitely enough for me. This is sick. 9 years old was the youngest. Now, when I heard him say that the parents were there as well, did the parents know about this? Because sometimes the parents will give up their child. And it's sad to say, but it's the truth. Now, somebody asked about the statute of limitations. So as far as legally, like arrest, statute of limitations is up. New York extended, and I'm going to tell you, I found that funny when New York put that in place. You had until this date to file. It didn't just have to do with Epstein, now that we think about it. It was including Sean Diddy Combs. He said 25 out of the 120 had spoken to the FBI. What is this man going to take the stand and say? Let's not forget Justin, his son, who really belongs to Wolf, and Christian are named in lawsuits by Lil Rod with participating in the drugging. When you give one man that kind of power, and you heard, he said that, and I said it the other day, They're going to be looking for these police reports. Hi, Stacy. They're going to be looking for these police reports that these people filed and nothing was done. Nothing was done. So when I say there are politicians involved, police, law enforcement, there was. You can't have that type of enterprise and not have to back in to cover it up. This is this is going to be explosive. And you heard what Mr. Buzzbee said. Buzzbee, he's going after everybody that stood by, knew of, watched, participated, never said anything. And these individuals know who they are. And Lil Rod is one of these people. Even though he was a victim, he knew. Roger Bond, his old security guy, he knew. Cranky, I'm so happy to see you. See, that is a good question, and I'm not sure. I will have to look. But if he wasn't arrested at the time, or charges weren't brought against him due to negligence, and this is not negligence, it's them being paid off. There's going to be a lot of cops. That's going to be in a lot of problems. That's going to have a lot of issues. Look at the states: Miami, New York, California, Houston. This is crazy. I want to know what Justin's mom has to say. She was so upset because, you know, they raided the home and her son was there. What do you have to say about your son being named in this lawsuit that has him fully participating? Hi, Sappho. How are you? Yes, this one lady who remained Jane Doe for the longest, she had her hospital records, her psychiatric records. She had everything. This has marked these individuals for their life. Do we think Justin Bieber spoke to the FBI? Hell yes, I think he did. Hell yes, I think he did. I think Usher also spoke with them. There is silence. No one's saying a damn thing. It would go by the filing date or the date of the incident. They sold their souls to fit in with him. Stevie J is in a lot in that lawsuit that Lil Rod filed. Stevie J is all in those photos. He got dicked down too for money. Stevie J ain't had no money to open up no damn restaurant. Where do you think he got the money from? His mother let him go, not his parents, his mother let him go stay with Diddy for a year. Justin, I'm told, well, not told, Justin, it said that he only spent about 48 hours with him. Nope, I was just told by Cranky that it was a girl. The 15-year-old was a girl. That song he did something but a Diddy party. Lost himself at a Diddy party. Cooch said something earlier. She said the first one to talk is going to get the best deals. Yep, they gave, the mother did, not the father, the mother did. I don't think Usher's father was basically in his life. He was raised by his mom. Could have been Brittany. Could have been. Hi, Maria. I just saw your message. Well, not just, but I saw it when I went live. Yep, the 15-year-old was a female. They all know. Kim Kardashian started sending out cease and desist letters. What was that? But 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago, she started sending out cease and desist letters. Now, they said it was rumored back when it came up again that J-Lo's marriage to her backup dancer, when she was married to him before she married Mark, I think. Who did she marry first? The backup dancer or Mark? The marriage to the backup dancer fell apart because of Diddy Combs. Now, all of a sudden, all of this stuff is going on, and you know word was getting around Hollywood. She and Ben Affleck are no more. Her marriage to Mark, they said, was marked by this whole Diddy scandal as well. Yep. This is absolutely disgusting. He has 120, and they've vetted the ones he talked about. The 9-year-old, that was vetted. So it's true. The 15-year-old, vetted, true. 13-year, vetted, true. This man is sick. I don't know, but she started issuing out C&Ds. Her attorney. Where's Chris? The guy she was dating. She met through Diddy. The black guy. She met him through Diddy. He worked for Diddy at one point. These people are sick. If everybody remember Rock Hudson, you looked at Rock Hudson, you knew he was gay. They were trying to cover all of that. You knew Doris Day's husband was whipping her ass. When I found out about not Billy Ocean, the one with the pretty eyes, I can't think of his name. He was married to Frida Payne. He was whipping her ass. I stopped Gregory. Can't think of his name right now. Gregory Abbott. When I found out about him whipping her ass, I had 2 of his records. Got rid of that shit. Anita Baker's husband used to whip her ass. Everybody knows all this shit. They sit back and they say nothing. Now everybody's talking about how they were at the table and Diddy reached across and punched Cassie in the face. Everybody was there. Everybody in that restaurant was there. Even the hotel staff, when he paid them to keep it hush when he was dragging Cassie, they all could have went to the police. They had the video. No one did anything. No one did anything. There you go. Corey worked for P. Diddy. He was the first one at Kim's house, wasn't he? First or second, then Kimora shows up. Huh. All of her electronics are gone. Disappeared. Y'all don't think they're investigating all of that? Oh my God, girl. His daddy was supposed to be a snitch, and that's why he was taken out. You know, the big drug dealer, he was supposed to be a snitch, and that's why he was taken out. That's what they said. I don't know. I don't know why would he take that chance and do that on a set. That I find hard to believe. Yeah, she was in a really abusive relationship. Really abusive. So just found out that That James, you know, Good Times, Mr. Amos has passed away. Chris Christopherson passed away. Matumbo passed away. Damn. Ashton is trying to separate himself too, because, you know, he and Diddy are really good friends. Really good friends. We heard Donald Trump on his show say that he loves him some Diddy. He and Diddy are really good friends. He and Epstein, really good friends. Kamala Harris went to a few of these parties as well. I don't know if she stayed for the freak-offs, but she was at these parties because, you know, there's a party, and then there's a party after the party. This shit is crazy. Yep, he did say that. He was probably at Kim's house when she died. I mean, allegedly, in my opinion. All of them. All of these young kids. We saw the Nickelodeon special. All of these young kids that have been abused for the sake of fame. Look at Britney Spears. Every time I see her on IG, I'm like, girl, where are your fucking clothes? Excuse my language. She does the same shit, rocking side to side, wringing her hair, having her hair swinging around. I'm like, we need to put you somewhere. Leonardo said he hasn't spoken to him in years. Yeah, there are politicians involved. Law enforcement, everything. They're never going to release that. But I saw the names of the people that were at the party. You know, all these big names that was at the party with Diddy. Okay, they're at the party. Who was at the after party? Who was there? I bet Lil Kim singing her song too, because he didn't do right by her. Yep. What did Carol say? Yep. You know, Clinton was there at the island. Obama went to the island. Supposedly, there were never any girls there at the time. Diddy has gone to the island. Diddy had his jet. Epstein went to his island. And what's the fashion designer that abused an art? Oh my God. Oh, I can't think. The French guy that is now in jail. They're all in it. The entire natives always call it Hollywood. Always. The video is on X. I can't remember the players that were with Will Smith, but oh shit. Yeah, and Pete Rose, thank you. Pete Rose passed away. Everyone should be charged. And like Tony Buzzbee said, if you witness it, you didn't do anything, you are, and I've been saying it for the longest, you are all complicit. Every single one of you are complicit. You kept your mouth closed because you wanted that fame, or you wanted to be in his inner circle. Lil Rod's lawsuit, I feel for him, but he was aware of what was going on. Cassie, and the reason he did that so quick is because he already knew he was but you know, he couldn't get to Cassie anymore. She had a husband that was protecting her. Money is the root of evil. Young kids, boys and girls. A 9-year-old little boy of what was it? 14 or 15-year-old was made to give him a blowjob. That's him. Thank you. He did blackmail. He blackmailed them by using the videos and their text messages and still photos. He did. You remember that too. There's a lot of death surrounding P. Diddy. A lot of it. Jay-Z as well. Young women. Oh, they had an aneurysm. Really? The first autopsy didn't find it. So then they got a second one that said aneurysm. Kim Porter's first autopsy says unknown, but she had substances in her. The second one says she died of complications from pneumonia. But they were still going to the party because everybody had to be seen at a Diddy party. Everybody had to be seen at a Diddy party. Ellen DeGeneres. I believe it. That's how sick they are. Jaden Smith and Justin Bieber, really, really close friends. Wonder why. I want to know if they talked to Brashear from Empire. I really want to know that. That young man had a promising career. Whether it was in music, whatever, acting, promising career. And look at him. Yep, so being fat, old, and broke, you know what? Oh my God. Her death was suspicious. I don't know if he told Jay-Z to run, but Jay-Z has distanced himself, and I don't know why, because Jay, honey, they got you too. They're coming after you too, and your wife. Yeah, it was Cassie. Yeah, look, get to the point. I knew who you were talking about. Yeah, Cassie. They got so many deaths that's surrounding Diddy. It was the son Justin that shot the guy in the studio, and they said it was a drive-by outside when all the blood was in the bathroom. The cops did nothing. The cops went to that too. They did nothing. Yep, his mistress passed away. She was going to go public about her pregnancy. She had an aneurysm. And then this other one that was her really close friend. Yeah, she died suddenly too. It's just amazing how people drop around these people, right? Oprah was at the parties. Oprah was there. Oprah is no good. What do you think all these young girls went missing from Oprah's school in South Africa? Huh? Huh? Oh, God. Girl. Terrence Howard had not been at them parties. Kevin Hart is involved. He's been there. He's a little freaky freak. He'll do anything to further his career, and he's shown that. Yep, they're absolutely in fear. Meek Mills, we already know you got. Yep, Oprah was at them parties too. Yep, he passed away. Coolio passed away. He was writing a book too. Meek Mills, let's not forget, I played the video. Shh, what? Yeah, remember that? I played it. Yes, it was Diddy, but Shine actually went to jail for it. Yep, I heard Prince Harry was there. I don't know about Prince William, but I heard that Prince Harry was at the Diddy parties, but I don't know if he was at, because he actually said it. He said, everything happens after midnight. Now, when I remember when he went to, what's her name? Wendy Williams' show. And he was talking about how he saw her son backstage. If anybody can go back and find that and see the look on Wendy Williams' face, he threatened to have her caved years before then because she was talking about what he was doing with young people and at these after parties. Ashton, yeah. Ashton needs to go away too. I haven't heard about Blake Shelton at a Diddy party now. Jada was there. Jada was there. You know, she likes entanglements. Well, you want me to play it again? No, I won't play that again. I won't play that again. Yeah. Look it up. Hi, Cat Rule. Yes. So anyway, I definitely wanted to bring it at press conference since we discussed that during the week, and I told you that they were going to have one next week. But you know, he's accepting, you know, he had a family member to visit him in jail. Diddy did. And I'm going to think, my thing is, I think Christian is the one that visited him. Okay. He's fallen from his pedestal. All right. He's fallen from his pedestal. So we know that Diddy is not getting out of this. Now, his attorney said that he's not taking any plea deals, probably because they haven't offered him any. They got the tapes. They have all these videos that they're still going through. I want to see if this indictment is updated. I want to see if it's updated. So he's at, what is it? He's at the Brooklyn Detention Center. What? Yeah. And you know, the joke was about R. Kelly when he was there. Guess what? You're there now. You're there now. And his attorney said that they're trying to work out a deal for bail. Honey, there is no bail. I posted that that letter that the prosecution wrote. Hold on. Let me share it. I posted the letter that the prosecution wrote to keep his ass behind bars. His retention letter. Here we go. The retention letter. Let me take this down. So they wrote it to the Honorable Robin F. Turns, whatever her name is. Okay. He says, this is the prosecution, U.S. Department of Justice, why he shouldn't get bail. They said the government respectfully submits this letter in anticipation of the defendant's appearance before this court later today, and in support of the government's request for the defendant's detention pending trial. As set forth below, there is no condition or combination combinations of conditions that will reasonably assure the appearance of the defendant as required and the safety of others in the community. Thank you, Donna. Okay. Not to mention the integrity of the proceedings as reflected by the gravity of the charges in the indictment. The defendant is dangerous and possesses an ongoing threat to the safety of the community. If released, he remains a serious risk of flight despite the conditions offered by his counsel. Most glaringly, the defendant also possesses a significant risk of obstructing justice. That's because he was reaching out to this woman 54 times, 54 text messages in one day. Indeed, as set forth below, during the course of the charged conduct, the defendant has attempted to bribe security staff and threaten and interfere with witnesses to his criminal conduct. He has already tried to obstruct the government's investigation of this case, repeatedly contacting victims and witnesses and feeding them false narratives of events as described in the detail below. There are simply no conditions that would ensure that the defendant's efforts to obstruct and tamper with witnesses will stop. The defendant, therefore, cannot overcome the statutory presumption in favor of detention, and the court should order him detained. Hi, Glenn Crack. You missed the news conference. So, the indictment was returned on September 17th. Okay? This is the Southern District. Their record for conviction is what, 92%? Sorry. Sex trafficking, interstate transportation, engaging prostitution, all up until 2024. Combs' use of violence, threats, and coercion. Since at least 2008, the defendant and other members and associates of the racketeering enterprise alleged in the indictment, they're called the enterprise, which includes the defendant's multifaceted businesses, wielded the power of prestige of the defendant's reputation as a musician, entrepreneur, a figure in the entertainment industry to commit federal crimes, including racketeering, sex trafficking, and other offenses. As charged in the indictment, many of the crimes involved the sexual abuse and exploitation of women and other crimes of violence. This is the letter that the U.S. attorney sent to detain him. They said other violence. I posted it. In addition to the defendant's physical, sexual, and emotional abuse of his romantic partners, the defendant repeatedly engaged in acts of violence directed towards his employees and others. As charged in the indictment, the defendant, often assisted by members, we know that, hitting, dragging, choking, shoving others. This is what he did. So listen to this. For example, in the early morning hours of December 22nd, 2011, the defendant and a co-conspirator kidnapped an individual at gunpoint to facilitate breaking into and entering the residence of another. Multiple witnesses would testify at trial to the events surrounding the kidnapping and break-in, the later of which is corroborated by police reports and other records. But he was never arrested. I know. Mary Garrett, yeah, I see you. And then it said, approximately 2 weeks later, the defendant's co-conspirators set fire to individual one's car by slicing open the car's convertible top and dropping a Molotov cocktail inside the interior. Police and fire department reports extensively document the arson and conclude that the fire was intentionally set. Again, never charged, never prosecuted. Multiple witnesses would also testify to the defendant bragging about his role in destroying individuals' car. Hello? Hello? So where y'all think he going? Where y'all think he going? He ain't going nowhere. Nowhere. Here's a picture of serial numbers that was defiled, that, guns in his residence, in his bedroom. And then here's the part right here. On one occasion, the defendant forced a female victim to carry a firearm on his behalf. Who we think he talking about there? Who we think he talking about? He forced a female victim to carry a firearm. Who we think he talking about there? Could that be J-Lo? Hello? Do we think J-Lo has been talking to the FBI? Because Shine said that J-Lo is the one that had the gun. That woman said that Shine never shot her. Is it Shine or Shane? Can't remember how he called himself. But this is this is it. So there we go. He's not going anywhere. Combs bribed witnesses and obstructed justice. This is it. It's all right here. This is, they highlighted some of the best stuff right here. They said while the indictment against the defendant was unsealed today, the investigation into his and other co-conspirators' conduct is active and ongoing. As a result of that ongoing investigation, as well as the defendant's charged conduct outlined above, including obstruction of justice and witness tampering, the government is limited in its ability to fully set forth all known details of the defendant's criminal conduct, including details of certain witness testimony. To the extent the court has additional questions about the charge, offense, conduct, or any other information set forth herein, the government is prepared to proffer additional information on ex parte basis. So they're telling you, we'll come with it. We've got it. We have the witness testimony. We're willing to put it out here if that's going to keep that SOB locked up until his trial. They're willing to part with additional information. He's a danger to the community and a flight risk. And they cited everything about flight risk. They gave the cases, everything. They gave the cases referring to obstruction of justice. They said, I gotta take some more medicine. The Bail Reform Act lists 4 factors to be considered in a detention analysis: the nature and circumstances of the crimes charged, including whether the offense is a violation of Section 1591, Chapter 2, the weight of the evidence against the person. 3, the history and characteristics of the defendant, including the person's character, past conduct, and financial resources. 4, the nature and seriousness of the danger to any person or the community that would be posed by the person's release. The concept of dangerousness, encompasses not only the effect of the defendant's release to the safety of identifiable individuals such as victims and witnesses, but also the danger that the defendant might engage in criminal activity to the detriment of the community. God damn. Where y'all think he going? Where y'all think he going? He can appeal to 55 judges. Somebody said on a radio station 2 weeks ago that he's going to be out on bail in less than 30 days. Really? Where he going? What judge is going to release this man? It's a judge that you're going to try to bribe? I can't wait to watch 50 Cent video. I mean, his documentary. So you got to think about all the cops. And I said this before. There were police reports, fire department reports. They knew that guy wasn't shot outside the studio. All of these police officers paid off. Paid the fuck off. I said, what's going to happen when they start digging? Buzzbee already said it. They're pulling these reports to see if there was any investigation, to see what was done. No, they probably went to talk to him and he gave them money and it just went away. You have no case. And they're saying, they got a whole paragraph about what he did by using physical force, financial pressure, emotional abuse, narcotics. They said, this is not all. As set forth in the indictment, the charges against the defendant capture significant additional violence, both spontaneous and premeditated. On numerous occasions, he assaulted women, employees, and others when he became enraged by throwing objects at them, choking them, pushing them, kicking them, slamming them against the walls and to the ground. So where are you going? Nope, they said the disposition to violence cannot be reasonably prevented through bail conditions. The violence alleged in the indictment was not isolated. They said at least 5 women have publicly accused the defendant of violent sexual assaults dating back to the 1990s. Hey, DJ Mendingo. And they said moreover, the defendant's violence and abuse often occurred behind closed doors, including his homes, hotels where he was staying, and other private settings. So they're telling you, even if he says he's going to stay home, he doesn't have a cell phone. His attorney even said that no woman would visit. The judge said, well, most of it happened behind closed doors. Hell no, we're not letting you go. They're not letting him go. There's a paragraph in here for obstruction. Obstruction. This is, how many pages was this? The tape, 16 pages of why this SOB should be locked the fuck up. I'm locked up, Acorn. They won't let me out. Now, we also have Mark, Return of the Mac. He can't return from this. All your so-called friends that were blowing your little, your big ugly ass cross-eyed, dead-eyed head up, I hope they all go down with you. And they compared his conduct similar to the one with the United States versus LaFontaine. He ain't going nowhere. They gave them YouTube videos. Look, they gave them YouTube videos to watch. Instagram video from defendant's account, which the defendant admits to the attack. This is the one that he's talking about, Cassie. Attack depicted on surveillance video. They had all kind of links in here. CNN. And then, here we go. Billboard. Diddy denies sexual assault claims. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. But guess what, bitch? You did. So you lied. See, you lied. And then you were caught in that lie. They said here the defendant's conduct goes beyond what LaFontaine court found sufficient to revoke bail. So he's worse than LaFontaine. Here you go. Diddy's not going nowhere. They did 16 damn pages. Fox Business. Sean Diddy Combs' net worth is close to $1 billion. They're giving you links all over the place. The weight of the evidence. They said the electronic evidence is similarly vast. The government has sought and obtained numerous search warrants for such evidence, in addition to obtaining evidence voluntarily from certain victims and witnesses. Setting aside devices seized in connection with the defendant's arrest, the government has obtained over 90 cell phones, laptops, and cloud storage accounts, as well as over 30 other electronic and storage devices, such as hard drives, thumb drives, cameras, and surveillance systems. These electronic data comes from the defendant himself, as well as co-conspirators, victims, and witnesses, and chronicles much of the defendant's criminal activity as it occurs. Well, he got himself fucked up. He fucked around and he found out that he was not untouchable. The evidence also consists of physical evidence which was seized pursuant to search warrants executed at the defendant's residence in Los Angeles and Miami. They said, finally, the evidence includes records obtained pursuant to over 300 grand jury subpoenas and other voluntary production. These materials come from over 100 entities and individuals, including communication providers, tech companies, social media companies, banks, and other financial institutions, airlines, hotels, car services, and other travel-related companies, escort services, and even the defendant's companies and wealth management firm. He did it to himself. They said his bail package is insufficient. They don't want your shit. They want you locked the fuck up. And that's where you at. How long has he been in there now? 10 days? 12 days? Hi, Jody B. It's on Tubi. The one she's talking about is on Tubi. Girl, I can't wait to see this. I can't. You know what? I don't think anybody pulled the body cam from his arrest. Shit, it was all on the news. But still, I want to know what was he saying. But he ain't going nowhere. So they're not letting him out. They said, in conclusion, as set forth above, the defendant poses an ongoing and significant danger to the community as repeatedly engaged in obstructive conduct and presents a serious risk of flight. The government respectfully submits that the defendant cannot meet his burden of overcoming the statutory presumption in favor of detention. There are no conditions of bail that would assure the appearance and compliance of the defendant or the safety of others. Accordingly, any application for bail should be fucking denied. And Damien has spoken. Okay, so that's it. That's all. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Poor P. Diddy. I feel so bad for P. Diddy. I really do. No, the fuck I don't. I was just saying that. I don't feel bad for him. No one should. He fucked around and found out. He fucked around and found out. Oh, so 50 cents is slotted for November. That'll work. But guys, I want to say thank you. Wait a minute. I want to make sure I got everybody's stuff here. I would love to see a fly on the wall with Cat Williams when all this went down. I'm not going to say what Cat Williams hasn't said anything either. I think Cat feels that he said enough. I think Cat feels that, people didn't want to listen to him to begin with, but now they see that everything. See, I saved that format right there, but every time I share my screen, it goes away, so I have to keep clicking it. But this, and then the Israeli, he wants his dirty money to buy his freedom. That's not going to be done anymore. That's not going to be done anymore. And think of all these people he's paid off. That includes cops. He hung with a lot of politicians. Let's just see. You know how they shake the tree? How they say shake the bushes? Hi, Muggsy. Hi, my sweetie. You know how they say, you shake the bushes and see what falls out? A lot of people are talking. A lot of people have got their attorneys and they're meeting with the federal investigators, Homeland Security. They're talking. They're going to be John Does or Jane Does unless, and you heard what Tony said. You heard what Tony said. If I was you, I would start reaching out. All them jingle blocks are falling. That's been vindicated because everything that man said, I do believe. I do believe. I believed it when he first said it about Harvey Weinstein. I believed it when he first talked about Quincy Jones. I saw what he did to Tevin Campbell. I'm glad to see Tevin Campbell is back singing again. Look at all these young kids. Shirley Temple. They said, oh my God, Shirley Temple, Eliza Minnelli, all these young actresses. I forgot the lady and her daughter. They said, well, when she went to the studio to meet with Copeland and all of them, was it Copeland and was it Wine? And how they separated them, and they wanted the mama to give them a blowjob, and mama said they had lost their mind. Interested to know why Homeland Security is FBI jurisdiction. Is Homeland Security? Hold on a second. Let me ask. What jurisdiction does Homeland Security fall under? The Committee of Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs is the Senate primary. Department of Homeland Security is a cabinet agency that fall under the jurisdiction. No, it's just Homeland Security. It doesn't fall under the FBI. It doesn't fall under the FBI. Matter of fact, I'll call my son and ask him. But yeah, it doesn't fall under the FBI. They were investigated in conjunction with the FBI and what is it? And the DEA and firearms. I mean, so all of that. But who regulates Homeland Security? Department of Health and Human Services, Justice, and Energy. Other agencies with significant Homeland Security response. Yeah, so I'm going to ask my son. But it doesn't say it falls under the FBI. What does Homeland Security investigate? We stop crime at the source, keeping the public safe and holding criminals accountable. Across the country and around the world, Homeland Security special agents launch and pursue investigation into transnational crime and violations of customs and immigration laws of the United States. See, my son is a special agent. He does investigations. Ooh. Let's see. It's the FBI under the Department of Homeland Security. As part of the Homeland Security enterprise, the FBI supports the Department of Homeland Security by investigating threats and incidents which affect the security of protected computers and networks. Yes, they were involved. And the FBI, like I said, they work in conjunction with Homeland Security. They investigate threats and incidents which affect the security of protected computers and networks. That's why the FBI was there. So, I don't think he'll tell me anything now. He never tells me shit, ever. Even when all that stuff was going on in DC with Black Lives Matter, he wouldn't tell me nothing. Nothing. The Secretary of Homeland Security reports directly to the President of the United States. Damn. So he won't tell me anything. I can go fishing. He won't say shit. How are you? What? For real? Oh, okay. Nope. Can't talk about that. That's all out here. Nope. Can't talk about that. Don't know. He don't tell me nothing. Seriously. I even asked him to smuggle me a hazmat suit from the military one time. They told me hell no. My son said I couldn't be trusted what I was going to do with that suit. Oh, I read that only 2 bags were confiscated from the Miami residence. Girl, did you see all that stuff that they were pulling out? They ripped his walls apart to get everything. See, if you can delete all kind of shit, it's still in the cloud. And then they work with all of these providers. They got everything. I remember when he sent me the picture of his gun and his badge, right? When he first got it. I said, oh my God, if I get stopped, I'm going to show them. He was like, you can tell them my badge number. He said, no. He said, don't even tell him my badge number. I said, well, can I just show it to him? He said, Ma, if you do that. I said, I won't do that. I won't do that. I did. I said I was going to show them his badge number and his gun. So when Nate was at work one day, I think he was in Vegas. So he saw a message from special agent, whatever. He was like, wait a minute. Why is a special agent contacting me? He didn't read the name. And he was like, man, he said, I almost lost my shit. I said, oh my God. I said, you didn't remember your brother? He said, man, all I saw was Office of Special Agent. He was like, oh, what the hell? I was laughing my ass off. Oh my goodness. Nah, he won't. That's one thing he won't do. I'm gonna tell you one thing he won't do. When I would fly in, if he was at work, he would go home, drop off his car, pick up his personal car, and come get me at the airport. You are not allowed to have civilians in your government-issued vehicle. His kids are that's when they were in daycare. They're right down the street from his house. He could have picked them up on the way home. He would go home, put his car on the street, open his garage, get his personal vehicle, go back and pick up his kids. You love it? Girl, I did a good job. He will not. I said, well, I'm sure other people do it. He said, well, that's other people. And he said, that might be somebody I might have to investigate one day. He said, but no, he doesn't do it because you don't know who you're going to see on the freeway, on the road. He just won't do it. He won't do it. If he takes a quick trip in, he's supposed to travel with his weapon at all times. He'll tell you the heartbeat. He said, don't say I'm coming in. He doesn't like to travel with his weapon at all. He doesn't like to travel with it. Even if he flies, unless he's on government business, he doesn't like to travel with his weapon. I did that. I'm serious. I did it myself. I did it myself. I was trying to figure out how to put me in there, but I'm going to get a picture of me and put up there by that screen. Yeah, I did it. I did it. I did that the other night. I was playing around when I couldn't sleep. But I love you guys. I gotta go. Yep, I gotta go. I'm looking at the time. I have a meeting coming up in about 20 something minutes. But I wanted to bring you this, and I wanted to bring the press conference, and I wanted you to see that little boy whose daddy is on trial right now. And tonight I'll be back with Debbie. I had to change last night because after I came home, I was supposed to be working, and that shot had me so woozy. I slept. I woke up at 3 something. I called Debbie, And I said, can we just move this to tomorrow? Because I really can't concentrate and my energy is not there. Oh, I'm good. And don't fuss because I'm going in the office Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. My coughing has subsided since I got that shot. So I will be in the office. The best thing about it is I don't have to go in the office, but I haven't been in the office in about 2.5 weeks. So I need to go in the office. But I will definitely talk to you guys later. And Texas serial killer is finally getting executed. Oh, Texas got another execution, guys. Oh my goodness. A savage Texas serial killer is set to be executed this week after murdering 5 people, including 2 teenage twin sisters. What? See, that it should say 2 teenage twin. It shouldn't even say 2. Twins are 2. Damn. Including twin teenage sisters. Not 2. Sound like it's a set of 2. People, I'm about to teach you how to write. Shit. Anyway. This was a great live. We'll ride out. Okay. Love you guys. I will definitely see you guys later. Come back. We're going to discuss 90 days and we're going to, with the chicken woman, and we're going to discuss sister wives. So I will see you guys later. Bye.